Hi, friends and entrepreneurs. Thank you for joining us today. This is Sparkcast, the official podcast of Spark, Eastern Ontario Business Development. And by the way, entrepreneurs, if you are in another country and you are thinking about making your business center here in Eastern Ontario, this is a great resource for you. So go ahead and subscribe. If you're doing that on YouTube, you can hit the notification button in the top right corner, and that'll let you know every time we drop another one of these. I promise you, a wide array of great experts that will give you the information and a little bit more insight as to what doing business in Eastern Ontario is like and why it's so advantageous to do so. Now, right there, at the other microphone is Christina, Director of Marketing here at Spark. Hi there.
Hello.
Thank you so much for making time to do this show. It is, after all, good marketing for you guys.
Absolutely it is.
So a couple of things we'll talk about in coming issues or episodes of this podcast are the upcoming issues of Spark Magazine. Maybe you could actually help me direct people to Spark, the website and the magazine.
Yeah.
Where can they find out more?
Absolutely. So if you want to learn more about the organization Spark Center, you can visit sparkcenter.org. And if you want to learn more about our quarterly publication, the Spark Business and Innovation Magazine, you can visit thesparkmagazine.ca.
Thank you. Will do. Making note of that. Okay, now let's do this with the first episode. Since we're going to find out more about Spark over time, based on the people that are involved in it and the entrepreneurs that are taking part in it, maybe what we could do is set this episode up with an understanding overall of what Spark is all about. Who do you think we should go to for that?
I think you should talk to our president and CEO, Sherry Colbourne.
You think you could get me a meeting?
I could definitely make an arrangement.
All right, let's see if we can get some insight from Sherry. Sherry is the president and CEO of Spark. By the way, we're in the Spark facility right now, Sherry, and it is absolutely wonderful. It is stunning in here. What a nice workspace this is.
It's very inspiring, yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Let's talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about Spark. First of all, why Spark? Where does it come from? What's the idea behind Spark overall?
Yeah, so Spark predates me, of course. I've only been here for the last 5 years, but my understanding is the story goes like this. Spark Center was derived from a bunch of very keen energy professionals, industry professionals, that wanted to create an innovation hub in Durham Region. They got together and created the Spark Center.
It's interesting because energy, of course, in this region has been a major employer. They developed so much out of this region for energy that's used in the rest of Canada and around the world that it seems like an apropos group to get together and try this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so now what has Spark become?
So along the way, Spark has grown. I think as, the energy sector continued on its journey, but more and more entrepreneurs started to come to the region, and they weren't always energy specific. So the Spark Center expanded to become what I would call technology agnostic, and that was around the time that I joined 5 years ago.
Okay, so now all technology being supported here in the Spark Center. I would imagine over the last 5 years since you've been here, you've seen some amazing entrepreneurs come through with incredible ideas. Let's talk a little bit about why they would make this the destination to do that.
Well, I think the first reason is often they're from the region. So they may be Ontario Tech University graduates, Durham College graduates, maybe they're just bright entrepreneurs that are in the region, and they don't really want to go down to downtown Toronto to get support for their business.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Launching a business in the core of downtown Toronto or even in the GTA overall has expenditures that you just would not have in other places. That has to be one of the advantages for sure.
Absolutely. We are one of, 17 regional innovation centers across Ontario, and our formula here at Spark is still to provide free services. Not all do.
Is that right? What kind of services do you think entrepreneurs benefit from the most here at Spark?
I would say probably the most sought after services are, connections to potential customers, so industry partners or just, customers in general. And of course, the one that is sought probably first and foremost is investment. So connection to investors.
That is a huge part of the process of being an entrepreneur. I mean, yes, you have a concept. You've probably tried it. It's probably true. It's making you some money. Now the expansion comes, or a product has come into your purview. The next thing that you really need is some professional advice to go and get the right money to extend your business to the next level. Is that, by and large, what you're getting the feel of here?
Yes. And so how it often starts is somebody will come and say, oh, I've got this idea. I need to get investment because I want to scale. And we say, great, that's exciting. And then we start to look at that business, and the reality is they're not investment ready.
Okay.
So that's where we bring our partnerships, with Angel Investors Ontario, for example. We bring them in and we start saying, okay, let's get these guys ready. Let's get their pitch deck going. Let's make sure they understand their markets, what's their go-to-market strategy. That
is just even a second set of eyes on accounting. Is my pitch honed? Am I pitching the right people with this product? Have I missed a category with this product that I wasn't thinking about? All of those questions, entrepreneurs bubble in their minds in a vacuum often.
Yes, absolutely. Always more often than not in a bubble.
Yeah.
And so, we are, we try to surround them with people that become like their advisory board, the experts that they can go to and seek advice and get inputs from the wisdom that they've already amassed over decades of working. So,
okay, so Spark has a pivotal role in that potentially for entrepreneurs, and of course, getting you acquainted if you are a business from another country is something else that you guys have a great expertise in. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, so, when I joined Spark, I came from an international background. And so in the interest of really seeding Eastern Ontario and getting momentum in the innovation sector moving, it seemed obvious to me that we have so many bright entrepreneurs all over the world, and many would love to make Canada their headquarters because Canada does business with the world, as we all know. And that's not always the case for other countries. And so these folks want to come.
That's a really good point. We are really diplomatic when it comes to business internationally, where some countries just are not able to do that.
Correct.
Wow.
And so, what we do, we took a little bit of a pivot when we started down the path 5 years ago, and we really started to say, hey, how can we attract these really bright entrepreneurs to come to Durham Region and make Eastern Ontario their home? And so let's get that momentum going in Eastern Ontario so that we can give the Waterloo-Toronto corridor a little run for its money.
I think that you definitely are on pace to do that here. What does the future look like for Spark? What are your plans?
Growth. In a word, growth and scale. We are, we've been now probably 2 years very actively recruiting out of the international markets. We've got, hundreds of really fabulous international entrepreneurs coming our way. We have more and more local entrepreneurs percolating up out of the ecosystem. And so I would say, growth and scaling is probably our number one job in the next 3 to 5 years.
Thanks so much for talking to us about Spark today. I think that this podcast series will be very beneficial, and the link that you have to so many different industry thought leaders, banks, and other entrepreneurs, it's a great network for business people to look into. So thanks, Sherry. I wish you guys great success.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So that's the boss, huh, Christina?
That's the boss.
But she seems really affable, nice, and super smart.
She's wonderful. She's a fantastic leader for this organization, yeah.
I think that was a good start. People now have a bit of an understanding, I think.
They're dipping their toes in.
Exactly. And hopefully in the coming episodes, we'll do more of that in different categories. Next week, we are going to be sitting down and recording next month's episode with Joel. one of the entrepreneurs here.
Yes, Joel is incredible. I can't wait for everybody to hear from him.
Thanks for joining us today for SparkCast. Find out more at thesparkmagazine.ca, sparkcenter.org. And thanks, Christina. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, see you soon.